the Bills?
Well, just Bill. I think they're just Bills. It's same with the Dermot Mulroney and Dylan McDermott.
Dylan McDermott.
And Dermot Mulroney. They have different names.
Oh my gosh. What if his name was Dermot McDermott?
Yeah.
Hey, and James Darcy was the first crossover from a Marvel TV show into the movie, and the first time we saw Jarvis for real.
What were the biggest crowd-pleasing moments in this? When did people really clap?
I don't think people clapped when they saw Peggy, but I clapped.
Yeah, that was cool. When she was working at S.H.I.E.L.D.
I was screaming in my mind. I knew it. I knew that she was going to be there.
The taco scene is when I clapped.
Did you scream?
Well, I think the guy behind me kept kicking my seat. That was annoying. I just have to say, there are good people in this world. We were sitting in the theater and some guy kept kicking my seat and I looked around and stared at him. And then his wife goes, "Every time you move your feet, you kick them. You need to stop." And then the guy never kicked my seat again.
His wife is a hero.
Yeah, so thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate it.
Mrs. Anonymous.
But that taco bit, I leaned over to and I said, they wrote that bit in a $300 million movie.
I just loved when the Hulk walked back by him, knew everything that had happened. You knew the Hulk was in the kitchen because he just said the Hulk was probably in the kitchen. And he gives him 2 tacos.
It's walked by happily.
I know.
Mark Ruffalo happily gave him 2 tacos.
Poor Scott. He needs some tacos.
And Nebula called him an idiot, right? And then someone called him a puny Rhodey made fun of him.
She made some call on her comms to watch out because there were idiots around.
Yeah, and then Rhodey was like, "Hey, human."
Normal size guy.
Yeah, so I think Rhodey and Nebula would be BFFs.
Yeah, they could be a fun crew.
They kind of have like a caustic sense of humor. They would hang out.
I feel like Rhodey kind of got there from all these years around Tony and then breaking his back.
Yeah, he used to look like Terrence Howard, too. That's crazy.
That'll wreck you.
10
years of movies.
He changed completely. But I think he would love to have Nebula on his side, Rhodey. I like that he was with them the whole time. Like, he got a pretty plum role in this War Machine. I like them together.
It breaks my heart still. I don't love Civil War as a movie, but it breaks my heart to see the moment where he gets hurt because he's just a good character all along and something horrible happens to him. Yeah,
he gets lit up by Vision. What about when Peter Quill gets knocked out by Nebula? Or War Machine conks him on the head?
He was only in just a very bitty bit of the movie. I think my favorite part with him, though, is the Asgardians of the Galaxy bit.
Well, with him and Thor. Mm-hmm. We all know who the leader here is. But War Machine knocked him out pretty easy. So, in Guardians of the Galaxy, he reaches his hand in, right? And he grabs that orb.
And you didn't know then that he was part god, so it doesn't mean anything to you that he doesn't get burned. But they finally show you that it takes off the skin on her android arm, and now you know.
Rhodey loved that, too, when he saw it.
It was fun to replay some of these bits from other movies that had significance that you didn't understand.
Yeah, when Cap saying Hail Hydra and avoiding an elevator fight.
Oh, that was fun because that was from a totally different movie too, wasn't it?
They combined Avengers with
Winter Soldier.
That was sweet. And then Tony gets trucked.
And the elevator and Frank Grillo.
Now, and then Ant-Man was a part. What do you think about the Ant-Man theory that we just heard about on Graham Norton? Where they call it the Thanos. Where Ant-Man sneaks into Thanos' butt and explodes into Giant Man.
I'm on Paul Rudd's side. He could have gone in through an ear or a nostril. You'd never notice if something went in your ear.
Could he have done... He could have done that.
He definitely could have done that.
He could have just gone right in there.
He could have.
But what if Thanos hit him? He'd be dead.
How would he know?
Yeah, you're right. He could make Thanos' head explode.
Hank Pym and his wife, Janet Van Dyne, went into a nuclear bomb and...
Oh, yeah. Go into Thanos' head and just...
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
It would be.
That'd be so sweet.
I don't know the person who figured that out, but...
Yeah.
It's pretty genius.
Is it lucky that Natasha and Colin Farrell from Daredevil. Imagine his character in that. So her and Hawkeye go into the realm Vormir. I kept thinking Boromir. They go into Sean Penn. They go into Sean Penn. Oh, Sean Bean. Oh, geez Louise.
He would have died for sure.
Yeah, and just give Sean Bean away. But because you had to trade something you loved, right? Or was it a soul for a soul?
There's two explanations. There's a soul for a soul, but the soul must be the thing you love the most. And there's so much debate on whether or not Natasha and Hawkeye had that enough love for each other. But I guess it's plausible that he loved her the most of what was left on the world.
She had a necklace with an arrow on it.
Yeah.
No one's talked about that.
Very significant. I saw it in one of the trivia things.
Oh, did you? I mean, that's cool.
I know. I felt pretty proud when I saw. I leaned over and said, "There's an arrow on her necklace."
But they were like best buds because she was somewhere, and then he saved her. Like he caught her, and then he turned her life around.
Don't they? What do they talk about in Budapest? Or
yeah, they keep talking about Budapest. So I asked Adam Hodgins what the Black Widow movie is going to be about, and he said Budapest.
Oh.
David Harbour and Rachel Weisz are going to be in that movie.
Yeah, I've seen some theories about it because how the heck are they going to deal with that? And a lot of the theories are it has to go into the past, but it also might be some sort of quest of the guys looking for a way to free her soul.
Jeez Louise.
A combination of the two.
Hey, that'd be great.
You know the movie I want to see? I want to see the future-looking buddy cop movie of Sam as the new Cap and Bucky.
That'd be great.
Because, you know what? Bucky can be a fun guy now.
Yeah, he can relax.
And Sam can be the new Cap, and they could have a good time, and Shane Black would come back.
Oh, man. Remember how much fun they had in Civil War when Spider-Man was getting them? They're like, I hate you. And they were sitting in the back of the car, looking happy.
Bucky can laugh.
Yeah. And Sam, I think, is perfect as Cap. I thought that Sam was going to be handed a bottle of the serum. Like, Cap was just going to stab him in the leg and be like, surprise! Right? Because Sam, he doesn't have powers. He has a sweet suit, and he does murder a giant.
I mean, he could run fast.
Yeah, well, like, as a human,
and he works out a lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, as a human, he's super. But he can't get hit by
He's above
Thanos.
average as a human.
He can't get hit by Thanos.
Well, that's not a problem. Thanos is dead.
Yeah, you're right. We can't Galactus.
Yeah, I think that
if Ronan hit him with the hammer,
figure that one out. I did read a little bit about the comic history.
Yeah,
and they said that Sam took over for Cap in an alternate reality where Cap was drained of the serum for a little while, and he handed it over to Sam. So Sam must be stronger if he was able to hand it over to Sam. Like, he must be stronger than a normal person.
I think it's a perfect thing, though. I mean, they established him. So Anthony Mackie's character is just a good guy.
Mm-hmm. He is. He wants to help
pure
and do
soul,
the right thing.
And even in Winter Soldier, he's just a nice guy working out with a VA. Mm-hmm. Like, he's just a good dude. He tries to lay a game down on, he tries to hit on Scarlett Johansson. I don't know if you remember that scene. He's like, hey.
Yeah. That's my one problem. So we've mentioned, this is switching topics completely.
Go.
But we've mentioned women in the MCU. I don't think there was a problem with how women were treated in this movie because I think it was about the original Avengers. Yeah. I really do. But I think there's been a little bit of a problem with women in the MCU. And most of the time, they're just not given a full story. They're treated as a love interest. I mean, Natalie Portman has been done a disservice in this
She's
movie.
an Oscar winner.
I know. They barely even showed her face in this movie.
Yeah.
But again, it's not about this movie. It's about the total MCU. And I think maybe, hopefully, they're starting to figure this out. But Rachel McAdams even recently was treated
She's
like
Doctor Strange. Yeah.
She's so good. And she was just...
That could have been anybody.
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch is just being rude to her. It's not acceptable.
You don't bring Rachel McAdams for that.
I know. I mean, but now we do have Shuri and Okoye and all of those great characters from Black Panther. But... I think they still need to work on it because they just don't, or what they did to Susan Carter.
Oh, yeah.
Agent,
13.
Agent
47. No, that's Hitman 47.
52?
That's Rupert Evans.
I don't know.
Rupert Graves.
Agent something or other.
That's
Susan
Timothy
Carter.
Oliphant.
But I hate the way she's treated. She's such a competent fighter.
When she kicks that chair away?
Yeah.
In Civil War?
But even when she
Winter
defends
Soldier?
him, she's his neighbor and she's there. She was chosen to protect Captain America.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, in the next movie, oh, she's the love interest. He smooches her after her aunt's funeral. It's horrible. Why?
All right, so what do you think about Tony calling Rocket a Build-A-Bear?
That's hilarious. That was the first moment where it had been really depressing for about 20 minutes that you just laughed out loud because it was sort of unexpected.
And also what we haven't talked about is when Nebula tells everybody where Thanos is in the beginning, and the whole gang shows up and just destroys Thanos and then chops his head off.
That's fantastic.
He just decapitates him.
Yeah, Thor went for the head.
But he didn't really have anything left, though.
I think that was a fan service because everyone wanted Thor to go for the head, and he just does, and it's so easy. But at that point, Thanos, he feels like his mission is done, so he doesn't fight.
Yeah, he just kind of lets him do it. Mm-hmm. He still would have put up a pretty good brawl, but he didn't have any weapons.
He had some fruits.
He had some fruits? He just throws it at him?
And a nice little A-frame cottage.
Yeah, so he destroyed the stones, and then they find him 2 days later because of Nebula. I felt bad for Nebula.
I mean, I always have to, but I really like Karen Gillan, so I didn't like the idea of her as a bad guy.
Also, how great is Robert Downey Jr. with children?
Yeah, he's really good. With the little girl, he's good. With the boy in Iron Man 3 with Tom Holland.
Who pops up for a little bit in this movie, and everyone's like, who's that kid?
At the funeral.
That's good that he bonded with that kid. But I love that when his daughter said that I love you 3,000 times, and then he goes up to Pepper Potts. He's like, she only loved you like 700 times. I love that scene. And then she tells him, like, hey, go, do it. Because he couldn't relax, could he? He couldn't have sat on that.
No, and she knew that, too.
Yeah.
And at the end, that's why it's so sad. She said, now you can rest.
Oh, man. And she has her Iron Man suit.
That's killer.
When they went back to back.
She's called Rescue in the comics.
Well, that's cool. When they went back to back, though, that made me so happy.
I know, it was very Kylo and Rey.
Oh, hey. That was fun, right? Just watching those two together. And then she had to push Spider-Man out of the way. Spider-Man's hugging on him.
I know, but he's an emotional kid, and he's just so nice.
Well, he's like a father figure. Because Happy wants nothing to do with him. Or maybe Happy likes him. And then I like that they brought back Favreau, who directed Iron Man, to have the scene with the daughter.
Oh, cheeseburgers.
Talking about cheeseburgers. They should have Jeff Bridges sitting there just not getting a cheeseburger.
Whatever happened to him?
He died.
Oh.
He got crunched.
Well.
He had a jawline in that movie.
Better.
He had a jawline in that movie.
He was scary in that movie.
Yeah, he was
I know
good.
we talked about this, but he's formidable. I was legit concerned for Gwyneth Paltrow.
So at the end, during that final battle, what were what were your favorite moments of this movie? So were they the big moments? Were they the little moments? Richard Roper wrote an article just basically saying 22 tiny moments that made a great film. Did you like the massive moments, or did you like the tiny moments? Did you like both?
I think probably the tiny moments, because there were so many. Even in the big things, there were little things sprinkled in for you to notice.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why, but I love the taco moment.
It's good. It's a good bit.
I love good bits. And I like that scene is in that movie. I like that Korg's an enabler. I like that little bug guy was eating pizza.
Oh, Meep. He's alive.
He was just eating pizza. They survived the snap. A lot of people. So that's pretty wild that all of Hawkeye's family perished, but then Meep, Korg, and Valkyrie lived.
Listen,
you can't kill Korg.
Snap doesn't have any rules.
Yeah, you're right. Poor Meep.
Snap's gonna snap.
I love that they're just happy. Korg is a Thor enabler.
Oh, I did like that moment where he was yelling at the kid over the online video gaming system.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna rip your legs off and like beat you to death with them.
Something like that.
He's like, well, don't cry. And they kept him chubby the whole time, didn't they?
They did. I was surprised that they committed to that.
And then he met his mom, Renee Russo. So everyone hated when she died. This was a nice moment with her in there.
Oh, that's something that I really loved about this movie. Maybe more the themes. I loved that all the people that we really loved, or most people who had died in the past movies, we got moments with them again. Yeah.
Because, I don't know, she was kind of wiped out on... And I love the bit, right? When he's talking about the Dark Elves. Ooh.
Oh, the Dark Elves.
So there's a scene in the movie... Well, you've seen it if you're listening to this, but I love when he's telling the story about the Dark Elves, and all the Avengers have heard it before, but Scott Lang is just...
Oh, he's enraptured.
Ant-Man
he's just leaning forward.
This is amazing. And then who makes fun of him? They're like, oh, you're like the rookie. Hulk. Doesn't Hulk tussle his hair?
Or Rocket, maybe.
Someone tussles his hair and just says he's like the new guy. I love that. And then he gets turned into a child, and then a baby, and then an old guy, and somehow he pees himself.
Gross.
That's fun.
Yeah, I liked the whole Scott coming back. That was a lot of fun. Driving that van, showing up at the house.
And then the van gets shot out onto the battlefield.
I also liked all the heartbreaking moments, too. I mean, I was legit concerned for Cassie when he's looking for her name on the memorials. Yeah. And then he shows up at her house and she gives him a hug. I think maybe the emotional beats I really liked, because I've never felt that about these movies before. Yeah. There were sort of stakes for a while, and then there were some permanent stakes here, so...
And you know me, I don't cry much. Like, I think last time was Take Shelter, where I kind of welled up a little bit, because it's an amazing movie. But this one, when Tony passed...
It was so sad. It really was, because you're saying goodbye to someone who we've had for so long. He's our favorite in the MCU. He's just so good at that character. And it's not going to be the same without him. I honestly, though, don't know what they're going to do without his genius. I mean, he figured out time travel. Yeah. Come on.
Well, they got Shuri. But is she going to move